Hey, good morning to everybody. A happy Sunday to you. It's Daryl here. It is bright and freaking early, man. You know it. It's 3:30 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. Okay, I got to warn you. I think this is just going to be a plain old rant. Seriously, a rant against the red states and conservatism. I've had to start this video 3 times because I can't say that word. Anyway, okay. I was going to talk about, there was another, I have to call them incidents, another incident, a mass incident in Texas. 5 people taken out. Again, the usual suspect, an AR-15 involved. I was going to talk about that. There's going to be links down below. I found out something interesting because I keep seeing a lot of these things happening in Florida and Texas. Florida, the ideal, the perfect red state that conservatives want all of America to emulate. And I found an interesting fact, and this is from a Daytona Beach newspaper, that 1/10 of all of these mass incidents that occur in the United States, 1/10 of them occur in Florida. And the conservatives like Ron DeSantis, they want all of America to be just like Florida. I was going to talk about that, but I'm even more angry about something else. And again, it's in Florida. There was a time when I wanted to move to Florida back in around 2014, 2015. Audrey was alive before she moved to Florida. And we wanted to move to Florida. Her parents lived there, and we're both beach people, and we wanted to move there. And now the way things are going, especially with Ron DeSantis, and making it this war against librarians, doctors, teachers, principals, against teaching kids or young adults anything about race or anything about sex or anything about art. Now I'm really getting angry here. This is unbelievable. Usually I get all the names and dates and all that stuff, all the specifics, but I'm so angry this morning. The links will be down below. I'm going to have the basics here, but I'm just so ticked off. I just wanted to let it out here. Okay, Tallahassee, classical school. We're talking about 6th graders here, 11 and 12-year-old kids. All right, they're already in puberty. They're well into puberty. I lost my virginity when I was 14. I told you guys how I lost it. I was... Well, you'll have to look up the video because I don't want to say it here. But I lost my real virginity, I think, a little while after that, 14, 15 years old. So we're talking about 11, 12-year-old kids here. And we're talking about art, not pornography. I wonder if I'm going to lose my monetization just for saying that word here. Okay, Principal Hope Karaskila. Hope, I have such a hard time with names. Tallahassee Classical School, middle school, Principal Hope Karaskila. She was given the ultimatum, either resign or we'll fire you. Okay, now what terrible thing did she do to these children? What did she expose these poor children to? A picture of David, Michelangelo's David, a picture of the statue of David. I think David... Again, I'm an artist. I should know this stuff. I think it was created in the 1500s, Michelangelo, the statue. And it was about religion, I think it's actually called The Creation of Adam. It's about purity and the beauty of the human spirit, the human body. Michael, I'm going to use a picture of, on this thumbnail, I want to use a full body picture just to make a statement. I'm curious to see if what YouTube will do with that. I haven't decided on that yet. We're talking art here, people. This is art. This is just the human body. 50% of the population has this body. Why are you so scared of it? And to call it pornography. Okay, so Hope Karaskila, the principal in the school, showed a picture. She's teaching art to 11 and 12-year-olds. I remember, that's when I first started getting interested in art. I still remember the pictures and I remember molding clay and stuff in 6th grade. And she showed a picture of the statue of David. And she was told either to resign or be fired. And here it gets even better. She was invited to Italy to see the actual statue of David in the town where it is now. I didn't write down the town. Also, she wanted to teach about Botticelli's Birth of Venus. Just the basic male and human body. We all have it. We're not talking pornography here. You know what? And I thought about this too. I would understand conservatives getting all enraged because my personal belief, a lot of conservative men are insecure in their masculinity and what God has granted them downstairs. And I could understand if the statue of David had a big schlong, and the parents and girls would say, "Oh my God, it's going to entice my little girl. It's going to make her a whore." And the boys, it's going to embarrass the boys because most boys don't have that, But it's not. The statue of David's got a tiny little weenie. I don't see how anybody could be offended this. It's art. So she's fired. And I started thinking about, like I said, I wanted to move to Florida. And the thing I fear the most is when these children grow up, they're being denied empathy to learn about, I was watching a show on TV the other day. It was a comedy show from the 50s. And they had a comedy skit about Indians. And they had a big headdress on. And he had me smoking peace pipe. And it was a big joke. It was from the late 40s, early 50s. I can't remember the name of the comedy show. And yeah, it ticks me off, this stereotype. And then, so I think about Florida. And they're denying these children any empathy to learn the true history of how the rest of the other races grew up, their feelings. These kids will grow up with no empathy towards other races. They won't learn about other sexual identities. And now, this thing with art, denying them just the basic, they should be embarrassed of what God gave them. Because here's the thing. The statue of David is pure art. It's the beauty of the body. And I'm going to get into that in a second as an artist. I'm going to show you guys how I learned. You think, okay, so you're going to deny them seeing the statue of David because you think it's going to corrupt 11, 12-year-olds. They're going to go on the internet. Now, I'm going to tell you something, and you might not want to believe it, but they're going to see real pornography on the internet. If you don't think that your 11 and 12-year-old curious boys and girls are not looking up some of these X-rated sites by themselves, at least once, just out of curiosity, then you are naive. You are naive on purpose. I remember what I was like when I was 11 or 12 years old. So you're denying them to see the real beauty of the human body. And they're going to get this other twisted ideal of pornography being ashamed of the human body. I don't know if that's what you're shooting for or what. Here's the thing. Okay, this is the last painting I did. And it's a drowning man. It's about addiction and reaching out for help. You get that, right? Look at the arm and the musculature and the hand. I did that. I learned, and that's part of the reason that painting I think I've gotten so many compliments on it, is because the arm looks so real. I did another one, and this one's about recovery too. Out of the darkness of addiction into recovery, and you can see, And here's the thing, with art, the body is all when you study the body, it's all interconnected. The tendons, the muscles, you have to study the whole body. If you look at the picture, if you look at a picture of the Michelangelo, of the statue, look at the hips, the stomach, the chest. You can see the muscle and the tendons underneath, how Michelangelo was so talented. And this is how artists learn. This is the age that budding artists start, and that's what I'm thinking. These kids are going to grow up, and it makes me scared for Florida and other states like it, that these kids are going to grow up so stunted in empathy and just basic human knowledge and concern for others and knowledge about themselves and their own body. It's crazy. I'm sorry if this was a rant. Obviously, I'm going to be running long on time. I want to talk more about these incidents that keep happening every week. 3 here, 2 there, pulling in the wrong driveway over here, a basketball rolling into a yard over there. Now, in Texas, next door neighbor leans over a fence, asks his neighbor, "Hey, can you not shoot? Our baby's trying to sleep." And he goes over and takes out the whole family, including a 9-year-old. And these incidents keep happening. And every time they happen, and it's almost every day now, the Second Amendment people, the conservatives, don't want to talk about it. They don't talk about it. They'll say hopes and prayers, but then they go to Chicago. I noticed that. As soon as one of these things happen every other day, they start talking about Chicago and the gangs of wild youth and the Democrat cities and how they're all crazy. And I realize they're interconnected because it's their fear of these cities and having to protect themselves with these AR-15s. And it's a vicious circle. I'll talk more about that in the next video. I'm sorry if this was a rant, but oh my God. Really? The Michelangelo? Pornography? Are you freaking kidding me? Have a good Sunday.